Okay, so it says identify the form of the equation, negative 3x minus y equals negative 2. The form is called standard form, uh, right? So because standard form looks like this, ax plus by equals c, where you put your x terms first, and a is the coefficient of the x term, in this case negative 3. Then you put your y terms, b is the coefficient of the y term, in this case negative 1. And then c, which conveniently you can remember because it stands for constant, is the constant, in this case negative 2. Okay? So to graph the equation, would you use the given form or change it to another form? Okay. Now there are ways that you can do it in the given form, and actually, let me. Well, we could do this. There's a way that you can use standard form, and you can say, if I take just, and let me rewrite it here, negative 3x minus y equals negative 2. I've shown you this. You can graph standard form equations by saying we're going to take this part, just the x term, equal to the constant, okay, and then dividing both sides by the coefficient, we get the place where the line intersects the x-axis, okay? So we could say we have a point called 2/3, comma 0, and you should know that any point that's on the x-axis has a y-coordinate of 0, and that's the whole reason why you can cancel this out, because you're essentially substituting 0 for y. Okay, and then you could take it again, just the y term, set it equal to the constant, and then divide by the coefficient, in this case negative 1, and you can say y equals 2, and what that is the place where it intersects the y-axis. So that would be 0, comma 2. And you could graph it that way. Okay? Putting a point at 2/3 might not be convenient based on your graph or whatever, but I find personally, and again, so this is a little bit of an opinion here. It's saying, would you use the given form or change to another form? And so that's your choice, right? How you decide you want to graph it, because you can do it multiple ways. But what I would do personally is I would take negative 3x minus y equals negative 2, and I would say plus 3x plus 3x, and get negative y equals 3x minus 2, and then divide everything by negative 1, the coefficient of y, to put it into slope-intercept form, which would be y equals negative 3x plus 2. Okay? To me, this is easier because rather than having fractional values like you do over here, which aren't easy to plot because you're not going to nail it exactly maybe, here you can go right on the grid lines on the y-axis to 2, put a point, and then rise negative 3, run 1. So there's a couple of ways that you can graph it. Your choice, whether you would use the given form or change to another form. If you did use the given form, you can plug in 0 for y. That's going to find out where your line crosses the x-axis, and you can solve this part equals the constant to find out where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, and you can take 0 for x, and points that are on the y-axis have 0 for x. You put 0 for x to find the point where it crosses the y-axis, and you just set negative y equal to the constant and solve out to find the y-intercept. You could do that with that form. Standard form allows you to do that. Or you can do it by changing it into this slope-intercept form.